Dear Dad, it's difficult to imagine that you're no longer just a phone call away. It's strange to think that there was a last time for everything with you. It's only that we didn't know it at the time. The last phone call, the last greeting at the top of the stairs, the last time you called each of us by our names. Though we did not recognize those moments as final, we hold them now as cherished memories forever preserved in our hearts. Knowing you has been a profound privilege. You often showed your love through your actions, and without a doubt, you gave of yourself selflessly, always going above and beyond for each of us. To call you Dad has been one of the greatest honors of my life. With sincere gratitude, I thank you for everything that you have done for us. Thank you for your unwavering love and devotion. Thank you for embracing me as your own and welcoming me fully into your family. My heart is filled with gratitude. You are always looking out for us, ensuring that we were okay. The man my husband, Kiaraho, has become is a testament to your guidance and influence, and for that I am eternally grateful. Your beloved grandson, Juguna, your little bestie, will miss you dearly. He loved you and still loves his Guka with all his heart. The bond you shared was truly special and beyond words. Whether you called him Kababa, Guka, Kaguks, or Baba, each name carried love and affection. He found comfort in knowing that you were always there for him, even humorously threatening to report me to you whenever he faced discipline. That connection will remain a treasured part of his life. You shared a beautiful closeness with Shane, who was rarely far from your side, whether seated on your lap during family meals or beside you. It is my heartfelt wish that all your grandchildren could have had more time with you, to grow under your warmth, to experience your kindness, getting to experience all the love you had to give, and to know your generous spirit. Though time was limited, your impact will endure through them. Family gatherings will never be the same. Sunday lunches and Christmas celebrations will carry a quiet absence, yet we will carry on, strengthened by the values you instilled in us. We will continue to support one another, to remain united, and to ensure that your grandchildren grow up knowing the remarkable man you are, an incredible father and an extraordinary Guka. We will make you proud, Dad. Dad, your loss is immeasurable and irreplaceable. I pray that you rest in eternal peace. May you find joy and comfort, and may you look upon us with the same love you gave so freely in life. And I pray that you see how much you are loved and what an impact you have left in our lives. We imagine you dancing amongst the angels as you love to do. Your memory will live forever in our hearts. Until we meet again, Dad, with all my love, Liloy.
All right, so I'm going to do something similar to my wife. I'm just going to share a personal story and maybe just a few observations about the relationship that I was able to have with Dad over the past few years. So, for the men in the room who married only daughters in the family, you know how intimidating it is to take away the apple of a father's eye. And indeed, my wife was called a jewel, and she's more than that. She's the whole livery. She's everything. And she was everything to her dad. And for me, when I went to, it was 18th September 2023, when I went to go visit Mom and Dad, to go speak my intentions and to explain what was happening. And, when you're visiting your father's home, there's a certain feeling that comes in. And I'm somebody who's very confident and very comfortable generally. But there was a feeling that I had walking into that room, walking into the house for the first time. But the moment that I walked in and the moment that I looked at him, I already knew his answer, which is that he'd already accepted and he already knew what I was there for. And it's a powerful thing to be accepted by somebody who doesn't really know a lot about you, but just trusts that his daughter would make the right decision for her and for her future, but also that I was going to be a son in that home, and I felt like a son in that home. Even if it wasn't for long, I did feel like a son. I have my mom and sister here with my niece, Waridi, and she was accepted too. And it's such a powerful thing to be, not come from a traditional setup, but just be accepted for who you are. And for me, that's just something that I truly, truly appreciate. I have the best I had the best mom here. I had the best father-in-law that I could have asked for. And he was a great man. But I do feel that in terms of for who he was to me and for who he was to my family, there's no words that will ever suffice to even explain kind of the way he settled me into that home. So every time I get on a pulpit, I usually like to give a message to men. So I'm going to give a message to men. Men, please make. I hope that you get good sons-in-law who come into your home. And I hope you just welcome them, because usually they come with the best intentions. So yes, that's my message. Thank you, Dad. We love you, Dad. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening to us this afternoon. Thank you.
Let us appreciate the family with a round of applause, kindly. A better clap once again for the family. Asante sana. We shall now have the tributes from the siblings. We shall have Mr. Mwanake, Hannah Kiaraho, and the brother, Dr. Kiaraho. Wakuje kama wamefuatana. The siblings, Hannah, Mr. Mwanake, and Dr. Kiaraho, kindly come and read your tribute as you have written, so that we may save time.
I'm Mwanake. Words cannot fully express the pain of losing my younger brother, whom I have known since the day he was born. It was a great joy growing up together, sharing life's moments side by side. I remember one incident when our mother left me with the responsibility of taking care of you as she attended to her chores. I got tired of carrying you on my back, dug a small hole, sat you there, and went off to play with other children. Our mother returned just in time, and I received discipline for abandoning the responsibility I had been given. It is a moment I will never forget. I also remember how in school, whenever you were late together with our younger sister, you would offer yourself to be punished on behalf of her. The teacher would give you double canes, yet you accepted it without hesitation. That was the kind of a person you were, courageous and loving. Now that your journey has come to an end so soon, we thank God for the time we shared and memories we hold dear. Fare thee well, my brother. May you rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
A tribute to my late brother David. Brother David, because I cannot communicate directly with you, writing this helps. I, being years older than you, allowed me to observe you grow through the many phases of your life. And what I saw was simply great and unforgettable. I'll never forget when, as a tiny kid, this story has been said by my brother, so I'll not repeat, but it's when he offered to be punished. We didn't know that actually it was a window right directly into your heart that was being opened for us to realize what sort of a person you are. It was telling us, it was opening us to a kind personality that would always resist what it considers injustice, and one that greatly cared for others. I also remember when at the university, this has been mentioned by Jackie, when he became a Mugogo 10 owner, and actually he had 92 of them, so he was a very busy businessman. We didn't know that actually this is a sign of a growing and birthing of an astute business to be. And actually, you finished it and you did it. I hope in heaven you find Mukokoteni.